Oh no, he hasn't yelled like that before.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do.
How did you feel when he said all those things?
So shocked. I'm like,
Christine talked Janelle and Meri for 2 years to me. This is why I was getting frustrated. It's like, you keep telling me I'm sleeping with the enemy.
So Christine feels threatened by Janelle as well?
Not now.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, January 2nd, 2023. I just finished my first episode of the first part of the tell-all, part 2 of Sister Wives. And now we're going to dive into the next part. I frankly don't know how many videos I'm going to be doing here today because I'm having a hard time like getting back into the groove and there's just so much to discuss. And I'm just so like, ugh. So in the last video, we talked about how Cody was branded a liar, and same with Robyn by Cody, by Janelle and Christine and Meri. Nobody wants to go along with their lies. And now in this section of the episode, we're going to talk about that faithful day that Cody was like, oh, it's like a knife in the sacrifices that I made for loving you. Wasted. You have no idea how many times we've said that in this house, that my son, who's 10, even knows the cadence that we use when we mimic this part of the episode. Anyways, in the next section, we're going to break down Cody and his explosive reaction to Christine leaving. We're going to talk about some stuff between Christine and Robyn and just more utter hypocrisy that comes out of the mouth of Cody, along with some telling statements by Janelle. Like, it's very obvious in this tell-all that Janelle's at a place where she just doesn't want to go along with the lies anymore. And Cody and Robyn are floundering. And Suki doesn't understand that Cody is a liar, apparently. Or Robyn. I'm not sure. But in the beginning of this episode, we come up around the part where they have to watch this whole interaction between Christine and Cody, where Cody flips out on Christine. And they all talk about like what was going through their minds these days, why the reaction was the way it was, why it was so visceral. And Christine was visibly upset while she was watching this. It was very obvious. And Cody had a lot of excuses. So let's dive into this new chunk of the tell-all part 2. Before we do, can you do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, click it down there on the way out. It is free. If you have not yet, do so, please. And also click on the bell so you get notified of any kind of time I go live or new content loads. And make sure to leave some comments if you have something to say. And as always, share this video with some friends. Okay, so Suki is literally the worst interviewer in the whole world, apparently. Never watched the show and can stick with the lies. So after they debunk the reconciliation lie and they go back in time and talk about Janelle leaving and Suki's all, this is brand new information, we go into the rewatching this altercation between Christine and Cody.
How were you able to remain so calm during this time?
oh, just take a minute to breathe for a minute. That was so hard. It was so hard to watch, so hard to be there. Gosh.
You can just read on Christine's face how uncomfortable that was for her to rewatch it and how emotional it was for her to rewatch it and how affected she is by it still. She's been removed from Cody for a really long time. So I imagine like going back like a year from now or yeah, and having to relive the worst parts of her life has got to feel so traumatizing to her. And she's just trying to like pull it together. And then she says that Cody's not normally like this and he doesn't normally get that angry. And so it was really shocking to her because a lot of the things that he was yelling about she said she didn't even really understand. Like, she didn't believe she was being mean to anyone. You know, and it's funny, not funny haha, but funny ironic, because it's like throughout this entire interview, they don't identify a single time once that Christine was mean directly to Robyn. Nothing. And the fact that she just wasn't as open to Robyn, that was really it. And Christine couldn't even think of a single time. It was shocking.
I didn't try to do anything like that. Maybe just not by letting her in as much as she wanted. And it seems like that was the trigger.
Christine talked Janelle and Meri for 2 years to me.
So Christine has no recollection of like anything that she's done directly to Robyn, outside of like not letting her in as much as maybe Robyn would have wanted to let her in. And then when Cody talks about Christine, he can't say anything directly that she's done to Robyn either. Instead, all he can do is say that Christine talked smack about everyone to me. So in his eyes, the fact that his wife was coming to him to vent about situations or how she's feeling about life, about people, was talking crap. And that was her being mean. So she's talking badly about everyone. She's talking badly about Janelle. She's talking bad about Meri. She's talking about Robyn. And that means that she's a bad sister wife. And so he can't trust her. And now suddenly she's better friends with Janelle. And it makes him feel like he doesn't know how to trust anyone. He talks in like massive circles.
This is why I was getting frustrated. It's like, you keep telling me I'm sleeping with the enemy. I talk about reconciling with Meri, and Christine loses it.
So who do you trust?
Well, I think that's obvious.
Then say it.
God, that'll start just pissing me off.
Can someone explain to me why it would make him mad to say that I trust Robyn? That would piss me off, he said. Why would it piss you off to say that you trust Robyn? He won't say the name. It's obvious who he trusts, but he won't say the name. And then it just pisses him off, and he's like, ugh. He's like, in this interview, he's been so unprofessional. He's stuck his tongue out. He's like, he's like grabbed Suki. He's been calling her baby and honey, and now he like won't answer her questions. And there's no pushback. He doesn't want to say Robyn's name because why? Because everyone else will say that there's a favorite wife. I don't understand why he will not say her name. Say her name, but he won't. And she doesn't push. Don't fear, friends, because Janelle shows up and she brings facts, logic, and rationalization that makes sense. For instance, she says it's not healthy. It's a red flag when someone says they had to make sacrifices to love you.
There's nuances like Cody, like, I made so many sacrifices to love you. Well, first of all, that should be a warning, right? If you have to sacrifice to love somebody, that's not healthy. And this whole framing it around you were a bad sister wife, according to what perspective? Are you really my husband too? You're really married to both women. You're gonna see both sides. Nobody's ever innocent.
Oh, she said it. She said it. Nobody's ever innocent. So Cody is all like, you treated your sister wives bad. And Janelle's like, she didn't treat me bad. Are you my husband? Because I was treated fine by Christine. Christine raised my kids. We had, it was a tough relationship, but we get along now. But he refuses to see anyone's side but Robyn's. And then she's all like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's ever innocent. It takes two people for relationships not to work. Robyn plays like the victim. Like, that's what Gwendolyn said. It's like she has this idea that everyone is like at her, coming at her. Like, she's the one that's the whipping boy. I mean, that's what she said is, I'm Cody's whipping boy. I jokefully call myself that. Like, every time they're mad at Kody, they come for me, but that's coming up later. But Janelle says it. Like, Kody can only see things from the lens of, you were not nice to Robyn, or Robyn says you were not nice to her. But yet, no one can provide a single example.
I know. That's his whole perspective. She
Yeah.
was this angel who came in. And I'm sorry, she's human. She's not this perfect saintly person. A little bit myopic when it comes to Robyn and her hurts and her perspective and her experience in this versus everybody else's.
Okay, so she calls him myopic, which basically is like he's nearsighted, he is unable to see other people's perspectives, and it's a lack of intelligence that he cannot see anyone else but Robyn. Like, he's to a detriment only seeing Robyn's side. The interesting thing is then that Meri comes in, right? And so Meri's been someone that has defended Robyn for years, right? And Meri walks back things that she said in this season. So in this season, Meri said during this outburst that she was glad that Kody said what she said because they were things that he needed to say. It was truth, right? That she shunned Robyn, that she did things to Robyn. But Meri said that Christine had reasons for feeling the way she did. And she doesn't put the blame on Christine. She puts it on Kody. Because Christine was craving love. She wanted love. She needed affection. She needed someone to love her, and she wasn't getting it from him. And Meri said, what wife wants to hear their husband say it was a sacrifice to love you? So Meri, who has staunchly defended Kody and Robyn, is not defending them anymore. It's totally different. It's like, whoa, who is this Meri? She's actually agreeing that what Kody said is wrong. She's actually saying, I didn't see it. And of course she felt that way. She was desperate for Kody to love her. They're finally saying that it's not about the wives, it's about Kody. And that's the truth.
She, through those years, was just craving some attention and some love that she wasn't getting. I mean, he said it. He's like, it was a sacrifice to love her. No wife wants to hear that. No wife wants to feel that.
Then they bring Robyn in, right? And Robyn tries to walk back that Kody was only talking about her. She says, no, Kody was actually talking about Janelle and Meri. He wasn't just talking about me and all the bad things they did to them, which isn't what happened, and that's not the case. And then Kody has the same line. It's like, Cody's like, well, she talked about Meri and Robyn and Janelle. He didn't say she mistreated Robyn. He didn't say anything like that. In that outburst, he's talking about Robyn. Robyn, no one else. He was screaming at Christine about Robyn. In this interview, Kody and Robyn's they have talked. They have their stories shored up because then he's like, no, it was about all of them, and then Robyn's like, yeah, it was about all of them. That's what Kody said. It's like Robyn will parrot whatever Kody says, okay? And then when she's pushed, she can't say anything. She says, well, it was just maybe like walls that were in between us. And then it was, well, what was it? How bad things were? What was it that Christine did that was hard in the beginning? Well, she pulled rank and made snarky comments. What? She just had a baby. When you decided to court this man and marry him and go on a 2-week honeymoon, and she made snarky comments postpartum and pulled rank. Oh, for shame. That's not being badly treated. That's not being a bad sister wife. That's being human. It's like they can't even come up with something tangible. And Kody keeps going on and on and on about how she talks crap. Literally, like that's how he quantifies that she's a bad person and a bad sister wife because she complained to him and vented to him and spoke to him about these people. And somehow then he starts talking about how now she's trying to pull Janelle away from him. And so he seems to find this way to blame Christine for everything falling apart in his family and him taking no accountability.
Yeah.
But he would complain about Meri and Janelle all the time to me. I figured we were just complaining to each other because isn't that what people do?
Yeah.
Me just venting to him is what he's talking about, that I was mean to my sister wives. I think it's ridiculous.
But then why would
So
you?
Christine is like admitting full force here. She's taking accountability and said, yes, I complained to him and I was irritated. And when I was having a rough day and they did something that bothered me, yes, I would vent to him and I would complain. And he would complain back to me about Meri and Janelle, never about Robyn. And she had no idea that that's what he was talking about. Cody was, for his part, seeming to be upset that Robyn was shut out. That was it, because he's like, she had cap in hand and I told her, stop doing this, stop doing this. The common denominator I am seeing here is that Cody gets in the middle of these relationships and he dictates how each one feels about each other by telling them how the other one feels about the other one. And then tells Robyn, you don't like her because she doesn't like you and she's talking crap about you. And then Robyn feels victimized and feels in a state of victimhood because, Miss Christine has walls up. Christine admits that she and Janelle did not become close until they got to Flagstaff, which proves the point to me that they didn't become close until they started realizing and waking up to what was going on around them and were able to compare notes. And once you're able to compare notes and look at things from an objective standpoint and realize who the problem is and how you've been lied to by Cody, narcissists love to triangulate and keep people separate and on their heels so that they cannot compare notes. So as long as he can keep Robyn in a state of victim and she doesn't have, she's the victim of everyone else, she cannot compare notes with anyone else on what's actually happened. She can only believe the story that Cody has told her, which is that everyone hates you. Everyone hates your kids. No one likes you. You're horrible because they don't like you. And then Robyn's like, okay, I guess that's true. Next, Cody comes in to start blaming Christine for more talking him about, you broke my baby's heart. Well, you did break her heart. That's true. You are a coward. Well, you are a coward, Cody. And like every complaint that Christine has made publicly to situations that Cody has created or she's responding to, he's labeling as talking. Meanwhile, he's doing the exact same thing on the show. He's blaming her for ruining the family. He's blaming her for everything. He is blaming her for ruining a reconciliation with Meri that never happened. He's blaming her for doing things to Robyn that she never did. He's blaming her for being a bad sister wife when she wasn't. He's blaming her for everything. He is trying to make her the scapegoat for everything. And yet, he turns around and he tells Suki that that's what she's doing and she's taking Janelle with her.
Those relationships have been pulled away from me, including, and this is the one I don't understand, Janelle. She's trying to assuage her guilt by saying, I'm a bad man. And I get it. She needs to do that so she can find another man who will trust her.
And there it is, folks. Cody admits the reason why he's saying all of these things about Christine is that he's trying to make it so the public knows that Christine Brown is risky and an untrustworthy person. And so she's lying about everyone so that new men will find her attractive and so that she can find a new man and they don't think she's risky. When you know what a narcissist does is they often tell on themselves. Cody's probably, if he's still a polygamist, searching for new wives. So what he's doing is he is blaming Christine for doing all of these things so that new wives don't see him as a bad person. And instead they view Christine as the bad guy so that new wives don't look at him as a risky companion. Even if what he says about Christine is true, She has a right to feel the way that she does and say what she wants to say. And you guys are both on a reality television show and you're both putting yourselves out there for the whole world. But he's mad because somehow he's blaming Christine for turning everyone against him when his family has their own grievances against him that don't include Christine. He missed his son's birthday. He didn't go there for Isabel's surgery. He wasn't around in the lives of his kids. He gave things to Robyn's kids he didn't give to other kids. He told Christine on national television he wasn't attracted to her, and his kids saw that. If you're Kody and you're the kids, do you side with Christine or do you side with your dad? I mean, he makes it impossible, and he tells on himself constantly. And Janelle, he's trying to pretend like Janelle leaving and changing her mind would have something to do with Christine. Didn't he not want to get her a house? Didn't he not want to pay off the land? Didn't care about her living situation? Has never cared about her living situation. Bought a huge house with Robyn. Never cared about what was going on with Janelle. Janelle's been like this, like, I don't really care about her, but she's there kind of person. And as long as I just ignore her, she'll put up with it. I mean, he took advantage of her. Financially, no one's talking about the fact, I mean, Suki's made no mention about the money that they gave to Robyn for her house, all the money that these wives have given Robyn and Kody to live off of. Nothing. No pushback about the financial situation. Not a single question. All right, friends, that's the end of this part. The next part is going to be all about the goodbye scene, and with Robyn calling herself the whipping boy of Kody, claiming that she's the Browns family scapegoat when we know that's not true. It's really Christine that's the scapegoat. And Janelle basically saying that Kody has amnesia, that he doesn't realize that their relationship was bad before Christine, and she discusses why she was there for Christine. But the whole situation with Robyn will be in the next video, but this was interesting. No questions about the money. Not a damn question about the money. Why isn't anyone asking about the money? Wasn't it interesting, though, to see Meri not take Robyn's side? I was like, here for it. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.